As I hold this phone in my hand, the iPhone 14 Pro, it is almost impossible for me to not notice how this phone has taken a significant step away from the design language that dictated the iPhone designs for almost 5 years now. The design language from the original iPhone X. So before you go comment down there, I know it is called 10. I just wanted to make your skin crawl a little bit. Okay, let's talk about this $1,000 phone described by Apple as the design that would define a decade of the iPhone designs. So at the halfway point to this decade, how does this revolutionary phone compare to its successors? And with everything said and done, 5 years later, was this design language a step in the right direction? Or do you think it's something that Apple should have taken a step away from a long time ago? Looking at this design, even 5 years later, this phone is just beautiful. The glass-on-glass sandwich with the curved stainless steel frame is still the design language that Apple has stuck to. What they have moved away from are the curved edges on the glass and the frame. So this phone that I have over here is a borrowed unit from a friend of mine who I believe takes care of her phones, but this one definitely has seen better days. The scratches on the frame are just everywhere. They've pretty much changed how this phone would have looked if it was brand new. But that's only for the white devices. From what I know, the black devices had this PVD coating, which should have made it more resistant to micro scratches at the very least. So maybe theoretically, people that have black devices, their phone probably looks better than this one does. The main point of the iPhone X design was to make something that gives you a slab of glass and you can interact with that slab of glass and the technology just hides in the background. That's probably something you can imagine that Johnny Ive would say.
A physical object that disappears into the experience.
So in order to provide you with a screen from top to bottom and hide the fact that you're holding a computer, Apple worked with Samsung to develop a display that would curve at the very bottom. Working with Samsung, Apple was finally using AMOLED display. Despite being very, very late to the AMOLED displays, iPhone X was the first phone with Super Retina display. And as a part of bringing that screen to the iPhone came two major updates to the iPhone. One being removal of the quintessential home button that had existed on every iPhone before this iPhone. And the others should go down in the history as the stupidest design decision ever taken in the mobile phone industry. Yes, the stupid, dumb notch. At the time, it seemed like a limitation of technology and Apple would try to get rid of it as soon as they could, but 5 years later, this is still a part of their brand identity. Even though it was extremely dumb looking and it became the target of memes all over the world, it was copied by most cell phone manufacturers in one way or another just a year later. But unlike the design, which seemed like Apple was trying to push technology as far as they could, the actual technology in this phone was kinda lackluster. But that didn't change how people saw this phone. People saw this phone as something that was a significant step. And even at $1,000 point, which was not common at the time at all, they still sold 60 million iPhone X devices. I see this phone as an era-defining phone for the iPhone lineup, but it's also the second iPhone that would change the phone industry for years to come. Today, when we take a step away from the notch to dynamic island, from curved edges to flat edges, plain old slow wireless charging to fast 15-watt MagSafe charging, and hopefully from Lightning to USB-C next year. And we would need another catch-up device from Apple that would compete with folding phones, hidden cameras behind the screen, periscope lenses that allow for 100x zoom, or whatever everyone else is able to come up with while Apple tries to play this catch-up game once again. This was a video that I really wanted to do after looking at the iPhone 13 Pro design. It just seemed very obvious that we need to start looking at the iPhone X one more time. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comment section. Thank you everybody for watching. This is Geet.